Yo, what's going on, guys? So we have a lot to talk about. The format of this video is going to be a little different than the usual ones. It's literally just going to be me sitting here talking, kind of going over a lot of stuff, getting you guys caught up on what's been going on. First things first, I want you to recognize all the fall decorations, Halloween decorations. Heidi would appreciate it if you guys would appreciate all the hard work that she put into this. She decorated our whole apartment, so it's just like everything is fall or Halloween. It just looks really, really cool. So the first thing I want to talk about is show day and kind of a show day recap. Man, it was just an amazing experience. It was my first time ever competing, and I don't think it could have went any better. Like if I had written a script or something like that, it couldn't have went any better. I came in a respectable condition. The competitors that I met there were super cool. Everybody was really great, just down to earth. I ended up winning my class, finishing second in the overall, and just missing out on my pro card. So yeah, I mean, as a first time ever competing, I just couldn't have asked for any better of an experience. Had Heidi with me the whole time. She was backstage. Got to record a bunch of footage there. Overall, it was just a really, really good, fun, enjoyable time. Got to talk with my old coach, my first coach, Jeff Alberts from 3DMJ. If you guys have never seen him, I advise you to go look him up on YouTube, on Instagram. Also look up just 3DMJ as a whole if you're into natural bodybuilding. Just an excellent resource. Yeah, I got to talk to Jeff. I mean, it's the first time I've seen him in probably 10 years. And then we also went out to dinner, and I invited Jeff to come along, so I was able to talk to him for more time there as well too. So yeah, as far as the show day, just really, really incredible. And then on top of that, man, the feedback that I got, I've never competed before, right? So you don't really have a gauge of your own physique. Like you can see yourself in the mirror, you can see yourself posing and stuff like that, but in bodybuilding, you don't really know what you're capable of until you stand next to somebody else or multiple other people, because everybody can look good on their own. It's when you stand next to somebody else who's like, maybe their structure blows you away or they just have tons more muscularity. Those things aren't apparent when you're always just by yourself in a vacuum, right? Going to this show and competing, it really opened my eyes to, I think, what I can do in bodybuilding. I'd always had those thoughts in the back of my mind of like, man, I think I can do this. I think I have a shot. I think I have good structure. But again, you just never know until you're actually there comparing yourself against other people. It's like playing basketball by yourself. Maybe you make all your free throws, maybe you make every 3-point shot, but as soon as you get in a game, all you do is throw bricks, right? The feedback that I got, again, from literally everybody, like I didn't get a single negative piece of feedback from anybody. Tons of compliments about my structure overall, from shoulder width to small waist, balance of a physique, nothing's out of place. It's not like something is overdeveloped and something is underdeveloped. Tons of compliments on my back, all these kind of things, conditioning, stuff like that. So it really reinforced those thoughts that I had that I have potential, or I think I have potential within this sport. So that was another really big thing for me at this competition. Just kind of instilling that confidence in myself from these other sources that I trust, like people like Jeff, judges, stuff like that, even other competitors, right? That really, really, not that I wasn't already going to take this step that I'll discuss later, but I think it just reinforced that what I'm doing is the right thing. But yeah, so overall, show day, amazing. The feedback that I got, also just amazing. So yeah, it couldn't have went any better. The next thing that I want to talk about is just like the level and the amount of support that I got from you guys, and everybody on Instagram as well. Just really kind of everybody in my life too, in general. Man, the amount of support I got was something that I never could have anticipated. I've always just body built, for myself or just because I liked it, because it's just what I enjoy doing. So seeing all that support, man, it really hit me in the feels, for lack of a better term there. But yeah, I mean, some of the messages that you guys are sending me made me emotional. I got multiple messages of people telling me that they were inspired by what I was doing. Messages from people that go to, the same gym that I go to, saying, I saw you in there struggling, suffering, and it was super inspirational, motivational, things along those lines. To me, when I look at myself in the mirror, I'm just a regular guy, There's nothing special about me. I work a 9-to-5 job. I bodybuild on the side. I'm just just trying to get through life, I feel like, just like everybody else is. So hearing those things from you guys, man, it really meant a lot to me. And it was something I think I'd always dreamed about being able to do when I first got into fitness. I'd watch guys like Matt Ogus, like Chris Jones, all these people on YouTube when YouTube Fitness was first taking off all those years ago. And they would inspire me and motivate me. And I always wished, I'm like, man, I wish I could do something like that. Like, I wish I was in a position where people could look at the things that I do and draw motivation from them or draw inspiration from them and want to, see the things that I do and in turn want to better themselves or pursue whatever their own goals are. And, knowing that in a way I've made it to the point where I am doing that, it just made me really emotional. It's just something that I never thought would be a possibility. It's something I always wanted to be able to do. But again, it was never something that I actually envisioned happening, if that makes sense. Just the amount of support that I got from you guys, I really appreciate, like, all the messages that you guys sent me on show day, after show day, before show day. It was literally nothing but positivity. There was zero negativity. It was just amazing. It's really just an amazing feeling to feel that you have so many people behind you supporting you that you maybe didn't even know about. Bodybuilding is a pretty individualized sport. And like I said, to me, when I see myself, I'm just that regular guy. I just work that 9-to-5 job, do bodybuilding on the side because I just love it. You usually just feel like it's, you're just doing your own thing. But to know that you guys are behind me, I mean, that's inspirational and motivational to me. So I really want to thank you guys for that. So the next thing I want to discuss is basically the transition from this series, Becoming Undeniable, to the next series, which is going to be titled The Odyssey. If you guys follow me on Instagram or pay attention to anything I post on Instagram, you've already seen, kind of my announcement about that. This will be the first time I'm talking about it on YouTube here. It's gonna be a long one because of the plans that I have within that, which I'll go over here in a second. But basically, the gist of it is, I am making the conscious decision to leave the world of natural bodybuilding and to pursue the IFBB, to pursue classic physique, and try to get, to the top level. So as I pursue that, goals kind of pivot a little bit here. So as I move on to the Odyssey and I transition into that series, what you're going to see from that series is basically just following me along it. I'm sure anybody who's watching this is probably familiar with Sam Sulek. The videos are going to be more along that style. Not that I'm trying to copy him by any means, but that style is more of my style, more of just raw, not heavily edited content, kind of just like a throwback or an ode to what YouTube used to be when it first started, right? It wasn't these like crazy edited videos and these crazy thumbnails and all this type of crazy stuff that goes on now. It was just, a lot of it was just literally following people kind of through their everyday life, at least for like vlogging and stuff like that. And that's really what this series is going to be like. It's just taking you through my journey to reach those ultimate goals. Within that, it's just going to be a lot of day in the life stuff, a lot of training stuff, what I do outside of the gym, nutrition, those kind of things. So hopefully you'll join me for that journey. Yeah, like I said, I'm just not into those heavily edited videos. Like, I don't even watch them myself. When I want to see somebody train, I'm probably going and I'm watching Ronnie Coleman, his Unbelievable series, or I'm watching Branch Warren Unchained, or I'm watching Dorian Yates Blood and Guts. Those are the things that motivate and inspire me. Not these like highly cinematic videos that I see where it's like, I feel like I'm watching a training movie or something like that, right? It doesn't inspire me. It doesn't motivate me. It just doesn't seem real, right? To me, it just seems like a movie. Whereas the other ones that I mentioned, that's just raw. I feel like I'm standing right next to Ronnie Coleman when he's about to squat 800 pounds and like videos like that, right? And so that's what I want this series to be like, just because I don't want to pretend to be somebody that I'm not, or try to live up to these expectations of, again, something that I'm not. I just want to be real and just bring you guys through that journey. And so what my goals are going to be, again, if you follow me on Instagram, you already know because I already outlined these, but they are very, very large, ambitious goals. The type of goals that, they're honestly scary. Whether or not I'm able to accomplish those goals, that remains to be seen. But I'm going to give this everything that I have. I am 100% all in to this pursuit. And like I said, in a way, it's very scary. 100% dedicating yourself to something, like knowingly going all in on something, having no plan B. There is no other option in my mind. Like, this is what I'm giving everything to. I'm giving this 100% effort. And in a way that is scary, but in a way it's also liberating and freeing, because there's no debating on maybe I should do this, maybe I should do that, maybe this isn't the right thing. It's like there's now a laser focus on this goal. And I've honestly never had something like that in life. I've always been very good at many things, sports related or school related, things like that. I've always been very good at them to the point where I don't have to give 100% to excel in any of those things. Because of that, I've really never given 100% to anything. So I think just the act of giving 100% to something is scary in itself, because it opens up the door to failure. In the past, I've had opportunities where if I had continue with whatever sport I was playing, there's probably opportunities to go, to turn pro in them. But I would, quit prematurely. And in a way, that is quitting to avoid the possibility of failing. Because if I say that I quit, you can't tell me that I failed, because I quit on my own. I didn't put everything into it. So I have that kind of backdoor excuse. That's partially what's scary about this, right? Is when you acknowledge that you are going to give 100%, there is not that backdoor excuse anymore. There is, you know, there is real failure there. The possibility of real failure is actually looming. It is something that can happen. And so, like I said, yes, it is scary, but it's also liberating at the same time. So going over those goals, the short-term goals right now are just to, put on as much muscle as I possibly can. My lowest weigh-in for this last prep that I did as a natural was 160 to 161. My weight cap as a professional bodybuilder in the IFBB under the classic physique would be 212. So 212 pounds. You do the math there, it's about 50 to 52 pounds of muscle that I have the ability to add and still be within my weight cap. Now, do I have to add 50 pounds to be competitive? In my mind, no. And my coach, Luke, he would agree as well. I don't need all those 50 pounds to be competitive, but that is what I'm allotted. So within that, this next phase is going to be a pretty long off season where we are just trying to add basically systemic size. So size everywhere. There is no specialization on any one body part or anything. It's just about getting bigger as a whole. From now up until 2025 is just going to be an off-season phase. 15, 16 months of just straight off-season gaining. Obviously, there will be times where maybe we pull back and stuff like that. But for the most part, it is going to be a straight off-season push with the goal of adding on as much size as possible by 2025. And then in 2025, the plan there is win a regional show so that I can qualify for nationals. And then when I'm qualified for nationals, go compete at nationals, win a pro card. So that would be kind of the plan from now until mid 2025. So ultimately there, within that time period, the goal is to earn an IFBB pro card in classic physique. And my personal goal would probably be to step on stage at that time at nationals, probably 20 pounds heavier. If I can do 20 to 25 pounds. Now, you have to understand that within that time period, that is massive. That is a huge jump. But like I said, I'm giving this everything that I have. I am putting 100% into this. So although that is an incredible amount of muscle to add and something that's going to be extremely difficult, I know that I can do it if I just give it everything that I have. That's the goal from now until 2025. And yeah, stepping on stage at about 20 to 25 pounds heavier than my lowest weigh-in from this past prep would be the goal. So anywhere from 180 to 185, stepping on stage and competing and being shredded at that weight is what I'm looking to do. And then from there, should talk about the ultimate goals. So ultimately, I want to win the Classic Physique Olympia. Now, is this something that's guaranteed? Absolutely not. You can never control if there's just a freak that comes around, right? Take a look at Ronnie Coleman. There were so many good bodybuilders during that era who could have won the Olympia, but none of them won because there was a freak named Ronnie Coleman who showed up every year and just dominated. So there is always that possibility that no matter how good your physique is, you cannot control if there's just a freak who happens to be in your time period, in your era, who is just unbeatable. And we're kind of experiencing that in Classic Physique right now with Chris Bumstead. there is nobody right now who's going to beat Chris Bumstead, and there's nobody, probably within the next couple years, if Chris continues to do classic physique, that is going to be able to beat Chris. Now, when Chris' era comes to an end, who's to say who's the next person to step up there? So I can't control that factor, but my goal is nonetheless to win the classic physique Olympia. Again, will that happen? I don't know, but I'm going to give everything I have to being able to accomplish that goal. Other goals that are, alongside that or in line with that would be bodybuilding coaching. That is something that I really, really enjoy. I really love, all the clients that I currently work with, man, I really just enjoy the process. I love helping people reach their goals. I love being able to almost like, as a coach, you're almost like a guide, right? Like a tour guide where you had to go through some trail by yourself, not knowing, you took a bunch of wrong turns, you went places you shouldn't have, the path was only supposed to take 30 minutes. It ended up taking you 3 hours because you just didn't know what you're doing. But you come out on the other side and now you're the tour guide. You're helping people avoid all those pitfalls, all those dumb things that you did. And you're putting them on an accelerated course, helping them to reach their goals way faster than you ever did. And that's kind of how I view coaching, and that's one of the reasons I love it so much. And in regards to that, that's one of my goals, to be known as one of the best bodybuilding coaches that there is. And then the last goal that I have would be, I just want to inspire people, to motivate people, and to bring like camaraderie into bodybuilding, to just build the sport up. Because again, I feel like there's a lot of people that just shit on bodybuilding. There's not that much camaraderie, not like there used to be in like the 80s, where you'd see like all the top guys, like they would work out together. They'd all be friends. They'd hang out together. Now you got, all this, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, whatever, like beef and stuff going on where I don't like this guy. I don't like this guy. Like we don't collaborate. We don't work together. Companies won't work with other companies. Things like that, where it's like, man, we should all be trying to raise this industry up, not tear it down, or not form cliques where we don't associate with this person or I don't associate with that person, things like that. So that's one of my goals as well. Just shine a good light on the sport while inspiring and motivating people to just pursue things to the highest degree. It doesn't even have to be pursuing bodybuilding to the highest degree, but pursuing some sort of passion, whatever your passion is, but just pursuing that to the highest degree. Because I really believe that's how you truly find your meaning, or true deep satisfaction in life, is by having a passion that you pursue and that you give everything to. All right, guys, so I'm gonna wrap it up here. I don't know how many of you actually made it to the end of this with me rambling on and on. I just want to say again, thank you for all the support from the show, on show day, before show day, after show day, all the support that's been over here on YouTube, all the support that's been over on Instagram. Man, like I said, it's very, very inspirational and motivational to me personally, just to know that you guys are, all out there, and you have my back, and you're supporting me, and you're following along on my journey. So again, thank you so much, guys, for all the support. So the next episode you're going to see will be the start of the next series, The Odyssey. So until then, guys, I will catch you later. Peace.